And now, Andrew Knows Everything proudly presents Fiverella, based on the story of Cinderella. Andrew's Doors, I hope you enjoyed it. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Fiverella. Fiverella had four ugly, mean stepsisters: Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella. Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella made Fiverella do all the chores. Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella. One day, the king of Fiveham's messenger said, Hear ye, the king of Fiveham is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Quintuppling. But Fiverella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. Fiona said, He's going to marry me. Isabella said, No way, Fiona. He's going to marry me. Verona said, Both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Ella said, All three of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Later, Fiverella is so sad that she cannot go to the ball and marry Prince Quintuppling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother asks, Why are you crying, Fiverella? Fiverella responds, I got a lot of chores to be done. I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Quintuppling. The fairy godmother said, I can help with a bit of magic. Quantity, woo! The fairy godmother's magic did all the chores and then turned Fiverella's do-rag and ribbed dress into a gown and crown. Fiverella said, I've never seen such a quintastic dress. And get a load of my glass slippers. But she's not done yet. The fairy godmother said, Fetch me. Fiverella, go fetch me a good old pumpkin. Luckily, Fiverella has 5 pumpkins. And the fairy godmother turned the 5 pumpkins into a handsome coach. It's drawn by 10 strong horses. The fairy godmother said, Have fun, Fiverella, but I would warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken. Fiverella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Quintuppling said, Who should I marry? Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella said all together, He's walking towards me. Well, he's not walking towards any of them, but Prince Quintuppling is walking towards Fiverella. Fiverella and Prince Quintuppling danced happily together. But later, Fiverella realized it's almost midnight. So she scurried out of the ball. And when she was running so fast, she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Quintuppling was so worried that she might never see Fiverella again. So he traveled all around Fiveham to find her, bringing the tiny glass slipper with him. He knocked on the door where Fiverella and her 4 ugly mean stepsisters live. Prince Quintuppling said to her stepsisters, Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper? Fiona is first. but her foot is too small. Isabella is next, but her foot is too big. Fiona and Verona and Ella are last, but neither of the feet match. Suddenly, Prince Quintuple noticed Prince Fiverella's sweet singing. Prince Quintupling, is that really you? Of course it's me, Fiverella. Fiverella is so excited because she's happy to have her Prince Quintupling back. And they all lived happily ever after. The end. And take care, Andrew Stewards. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Bye. And now, Andrew Knows Everything proudly presents Fiverella 2, 5 Wishes Come True, a sequel to Fiverella. And based on the story of Cinderella and its sequel, Fiverella 2, Dreams Come True. And let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon two times, Fiverella and Prince Quintupling were happily married. Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella have a few tricks up their sleeves. They're complaining about not marrying Prince Quintupling. Fiona said, "No fair! I thought he was gonna marry me." The rest say, "Well, I thought he was gonna marry me." Several months later, Fiverella and Prince Quintupling are finally pregnant, but Fiverella is sick, so the baby might die. Fortunately, Fiverella's fairy godmother knows a spell that can cure Fiverella herself. She waves her magic wand and chants the magic words, "Quinity, quantity, quoo," and the baby is cured. However, the spell has a side effect. So it wasn't one baby. It was quintuplets, 4 girls and 1 boy. The fairy godmother says, "I'm sorry. The spell has a side effect." Fiverella and Prince Quintupling aren't upset though. They were overjoyed instead. They named the quintuplets Queenie, Ursula, Indy, Naughty, and Tilly. 6 months later, it's their royal half-birthday. Fiverella asks, "Everyone has their gifts, but what about your gift, father-in-law?" The king has 5 magical necklaces for Queenie Ursula, Indy, Naughty, and Tilly. They need to make a wish. Rub the jewels on them and it'll come true. The king of 5 has messengers saw that Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ali are heading for the party and said, "Oh no, they're in trouble! Oh, big trouble! Oh no! Goes over to the king and tells him, "Your Majesty, 4 young evil ladies are headed for the party." The king of 5 gets over and he yells, "Sound the alarm!" The king and his messenger then blows a trumpet alarm. The king's guards hear it and attack Fiona, Isabel, Verona, and Ella, who attempt to escape. Queenie, Ursula, Indy, Naughty, and Tilly say all together, "We wish." Fiona, Isabel, Verona, and Ella are in the castle's dungeon and rub the jewels. The wish came true. Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella are now in the castle's dungeon. Their half-birthday party is saved. And they, along with Fiverella and Prince Quintupling, live happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, based on a real-life Disney movie. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share too. And buy our merchandise. Take care. Bye. Oh, I almost forgot one important thing. If you want to see maybe someday Fiverella 3 Love and Quintuple Love and Glee on June 27th, 2025. A bit of an addiction. Maybe this could be a 1 month, an every monthly and 2-day tradition. And as I was saying, take care, Andrew's Doers. Bye. And now Andrew's Doers, Andrew Does Everything, proudly presents Fiverella 3, Quintuple Love and Glee, the third sequel to Fiverella, based on the story of Cinderella. Sequel to Fiverella 2, 5 Wishes Come True. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon 3 times, Fiverella and Prince Quintupling really love each other. Well, that's about to change. Thanks to Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella, who are making a 5 False Friends breakup potion. The most evil magic potion known to Fivingham. Later is the day of Queenie, Ursula, Indy, Nani, and Tilly's very first birthday party. Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella sneak up behind a fence next to the gate to the party. Fiverella's fairy godmother tries to stop them, but they lock her up and steal her wand and then pour the 5 False Friends breakup potion on Fiverella and Prince Quintupling, who now break up. Queenie, Ursula, Indy, Nadia, and Tilly ask all together, is there anything we can do to reverse the potion on Mommy and Daddy? Fiverella's fairy godmother explains that there's only one thing that could reverse the 5 False Friends breakup potion. The Quintuple Bat Together potion. The Quintuple Bat Together potion needs 5 these ingredients. 5 rainbow feathers, 10 pink pearls, 15,000-year-old acorns, 20 spoons of cilantro, and the most important ingredient of all, 25 huge doses of love. First, they need 5 rainbow feathers from a flying color falcon. The flying color falcon lives all the way on top of Mount Fivermore. Tilly suggests, this is going to take some real teamwork. Quintuplings distract the falcon. I'll pluck 5 feathers. Queenie said, hey, Birdie, over here. Ursula, Indy, and Nani said all together, bet you can't catch me. Tilly plucks 5 rainbow feathers from the falcon. Later, at the beach, they can't breathe underwater in order to get 10 pink pearls, Indy said. Maybe we can use our magical necklaces as a suggestion. Queenie, Ursula, Indy, Nani, and Tilly say, 1, 2, 3, take us under the sea. Because of that, their magical necklaces turn the quintuplets into mermaids. They then swim to find 10 pink pearls. Luckily, there are 5 clams, and each clam has 2 pink pearls. Just like the recipe, there are 10 pink pearls in total, Ursula said. Hey, I heard that there's a 1,000-year-old acorn tree in the forest. Later, back at home, they already have cilantro, and they mix the ingredients together. And the Quintuple Bat Together potion is ready! And just in time. Fiverella and Prince Quintupling are back together, and Fiverella's fairy godmother got her wand back. And they all lived happily ever after. The end. Andrew's Tours, if you want to see Fiverella 4, The Legend of Mount Fivermore, a bit of it. Maybe this can be whatever tradition. Take care! Bye! And now Andrew's Doers! Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Fiverella 4, The Legend of Mount Fivermore. a third sequel to Fiverella based on the story of Cinderella. And let's tell you the story, shall we, Andrews Doors? Here we go. Once upon 4 times, today was Queenie, Ursula, Indy, Naughty, and Tilly's very first day of school. But along the way, someone screamed, "Help!" on top of Mount Fivermore. It was their teachers, Mr. and Mrs. Figellan. They were on their way to school, but got stuck on top of Mount Fivermore. Queenie, Ursula, Indy, Naughty, and Tilly used their magical necklaces to save them. Say, "We wish Mr. and Mrs. Figellan were in school on time," and rubbed the magic jewels on them. Because of that, Mr. and Mrs. Figellan are saved. And as a thank you for saving them being responsible, a big surprise! But Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella still have lots of tricks up their sleeves. They spot the legendary Big Five, a scary monster who lives on top of Mount Fivermore and loves puzzles. Big Five also has 5 fingers on each hand, like humans do, and a question mark on his belly to show the missing number. Big Five wakes up from a sleep and sees Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella, and wants to eat them. Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella try to tell Big Five to stop if Queenie, Ursula, Indy, Naughty, and Tilly by saying, "Big Five, stop them!" But he refuses their pleas and gobbles them up. No, 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 no. Meanwhile, on a school field trip, one of the Queenie, Ursula, Indy, Naughty, and Tilly's classmates says, "I bet we're going to find the legendary Big Five." Suddenly, Queenie, Ursula, Indy, Naughty, and Tilly's classmates get eaten by Big Five too. Big Five says, 5 times what? -2 equals 28. Queenie said, "If we add 2 to both sides, 5 times what equals 30, and what equals 6? Big Five then spits out Queenie, Ursula, Indy, Naughty, and Tilly's 24 classmates and Fiverella's 4 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters. Mr. and Mrs. Figellan are so impressed about it. And later, back at school, Queenie, Ursula, Indy, Naughty, and Tilly are given an A for saving the day and being so responsible. And the surprise is puzzles! Fiverella and Prince Quintelling say, "Kids, time to go home!" And they, along with Queenie, Ursula, Indy, Naughty, and Tilly, headed home and lived happily ever after. The end. I hope this was a great story for you, Andrews Doors. And if you want to see Fiverella 5 fives on a dive, a bit of a tradition. Maybe I can do it. And every 5 video tradition. Take care. Bye. Andrews Doers. Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Fiverella 5. 5 fives on a dive. A 4th sequel to Fiverella based on the story of Cinderella. And let's tell you the story, shall we, Andrews Doers? Once upon 5 times, Fiverella and Prince Quintupling are taking Queenie, Ursula, Indy, Naughty, and Tilly to the beach for the very first time. "You've never been to the beach before, have you?" asked Fiverella, in which Queenie, Ursula, Indy, Naughty, and Tilly respond, "No." Fiverella then says, "So it will be fun, won't it?" In which Queenie, Ursula, Indy, Nadia, and Tilly respond yes. By the time they arrive there at the beach, the king of Quintonia has the good news. He remembered something else that Queenie, Ursula's, Indy, Nadia, and Tilly's magical necklaces do. Jump into the water, count to 3, and say, "Take us under the sea." Also, press the center of the jewels, and they will write plus, minus, times, dividing, or parentheses, etc. Queenie says, "But Grandpa, we find making wishes rubbing the jewels on them is the only thing we know." "Not anymore, it's not," said the king of Quintonia. Later, Queenie, Ursula, Indy, Nadia, and Tilly are then getting ready to make sandcastles. But before they could start, they found 5 number 5s under the water. 5 mermaids were trying to figure out why the 5 5s were underwater. Queenie, Ursula, Indy, Nadia, and Tilly attempt to help them. They jump into the water and say, "1, 2, 3, take us under the sea." Because of that, they turn into mer people. They then swim to the 5 5s, and then the 5 mermaids introduce each other and become good friends. The mermaids' names are Marina, Melina, Michaela, Millie, and Molly, and they solve it. Parentheses 5 plus 5 divided by 5 minus 5 over 5 equals 1. Marina, Melina, Michaela, Millie, and Molly then say, "We're so glad about it, but not so glad that our 10 power pearls of Quinlantis are gone. Quintiki stole them altogether." Quintiki, an evil Autopan, said, "That's right," and cackles. But Quintiki bumps into Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella in a submarine. Quintiki then asks Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella if they like to team up, and so they agree. However, Quintiki loses the 10 power pearls of Quinlantis when she bumped into the submarine. This allows the 10 mermaid kids to give them back. Quintiki gets so infuriated. Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella, however, tell her by saying, "Don't worry, Quintiki, we'll get them back." But the submarine crashes into a rock. Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella try to fix it, but they open the wrong valve. That causes water to flood, resulting in the submarine sinking and being damaged. Verona then scolds Ella by saying, "Ella, this is the first time I told you to pilot this submarine." Quintiki tries to fix the submarine herself, but she doesn't have the right parts. Ella suddenly realizes how mean and wicked she was to Fiverella. It makes her do all the chores after being scolded. Later, back on the surface, Queenie, Ursula, Indy, Nadia, and Tilly now can start to build sandcastles. Suddenly, Ella, the youngest sister, catches up and tells Fiverella and Prince Quintonia by saying, "Firewrench, I should tell you, I'm sorry I made you do all the chores, and I was being so wicked, mean, and ugly." Fiverella says, "It's okay, Ella," and then they all lived happily ever after. The end. Andrew's Doers, I hope you enjoyed this story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. And buy our merchandise watch more videos. And I've been debating on making the Cinderella parodies a bit of a tradition. Take care! Bye!